I thought, well, there's no way I'm going to do that because I couldn't. The pressure of writing a song for Bruce Springsteen is like, it's like writing a song for Madonna. Like, how do you do that? You can't.
I'm gonna start talking about this new record, and I would like to start by talking about the return of the Gaslight Anthem. And that was largely thanks to musicians like Bon Jovi and Bruce Springsteen, but also thanks to the therapy and medication, which I think it's a pretty important thing to mention, especially at this moment that we live in a world where mental health does not seem to have the importance it should. What do you think was the most significant positive change you noticed upon returning to the band and creating new music?
I think, with being older and kind of having time away from the band really taught us a lot about how valuable the band is, and they say that, I guess, it's very, very much true. I would say that's the thing that mostly gave us the, kind of like the appreciation for it when we came back to it.
In an interview, actually, you mentioned it that it was after a talk with Springsteen that you wrote 4 new songs for history books, and then you start to think about this 6th record of the band. Do you remember what those songs were and what was the creative process of those? I mean, what was the first themes that you decided to talk in these new songs, and why you decided to put that on?
Yeah, well, when I came home from talking to Bruce, it was kind of about, I had the idea that I was gonna put the band back together. So I when I called him and I just said, I need some help here. I got to talk to you about how to do this. And then when I went home, I was very inspired. So I kind of I left and I made a deal with myself. I said, if I can write 4 songs I think are good enough, then I'll do it. And the first 4 was Positive Charge, Autumn, The Weatherman, and the last song, A Lifetime of Preludes.
Brian, when I read the title song on this record, I noticed a kind of duality. In some songs, looks like they're quite optimistic, like Positive Charge, but in others, you also seem to talk about people who don't make you feel as good as the song. And it's that song that gives the album the title. So what was for you to explore and capture various feelings of human connection?
Well, sometimes the positive things that come, they actually come from leaving something that's negative. So sometimes when I found that, and sometimes in your life you have to change yourself and and you have to look inside. But other times it's both. There are outside things that can be affecting you negatively too, and that was one of the things that I think I learned in therapy was, you have to look at yourself and say, is it me, or is part of it me, and then what part of it is not me, and you need to be able to be aware to see, kind of see what's happening, like 360, and you need your eyes open to see that. And sometimes you can't do that if you're, if you're depressed or you're anxious or, something like that.
Now, speaking of the song History Books, you have always made clear your admiration for Bruce Springsteen. So I wanted to know, how was the creative process of this song, and why it was in this song where the duet with the singer happened?
The cool thing was that when we had that first meeting, when I got home, I guess maybe a day later that night, he texted me and he's like, I think you should write us a song together to sing. And he's like, what do you think of that? And I was like, yeah, it's Bruce Springsteen asking me to write a song. Of course, yeah, I want to do that. Where do I sign up? If somebody said, do you want $1 million? Yeah, I want that. I thought, well, there's no way I'm going to do that because I couldn't. The pressure of writing a song for Bruce Springsteen is like, it's like writing a song for Madonna. Like, how do you do that? You can't. How do I write the words that they're gonna sing? And so I just wrote songs. Like, I just wrote all the songs I thought for the record, and then at the end, we all said, okay, which song do we think would sound best with Bruce on it? And everybody was like, History Books, that would be the one. And then we sent it to him, and he really liked it, so it was good.
I'm keeping time.
The Gaslight Anthem had the production of Peter Kettis,
Kettis,
known for being the sound of Interpol and the national record. What do you think was the biggest or most significant contribution that Peter had in history books?
I think the sounds that he came up with, because he would challenge us every day to not use the same, like, we would always use guitars and drums, and he didn't want us to be different, but he was really cool about, like, he didn't want us to use, like, music that wasn't ours. It still wanted to be rock music, but he would say, like, go home and listen to, like, this song by Sonic Youth, or go listen to this song by, you know, like, I'm a big Dinosaur Jr. fan, and he would be like, no, you gotta listen to the first record. And he would show us a lot of, like, crazy sounds, really crazy, and he was, like, making them in there, and I think he really, like, created some cool sounds. That's why a lot of, like, Alex's guitar solos sound like not like guitar. They sound like crazy. It's cool.